How you guys doing? It's Profithigh73. It's Sunday, and I'm still studying every day, all day, every day. So the TPLM, you guys have seen me. I wanted to go over chart patterns today of what I've been looking at. I've watched Tim Sykes Spikeability and trading tickers from Tim Grittani, and I just recently watched not all of it. I'm still watching it, and Investors Live came up with this chart pattern. Investors Live DVD. It came up with this chart pattern that I found very, very interesting, and I wanted to go over it. And I don't know half the time if I'm doing it correctly, but it's definitely something that I'm charting and I'm watching to see if I can actually spot these breakouts and just see if I'm charting them correctly. And TPLM fit this, up here at 32. It comes up and tests it a couple of times, and this is a month and a half duration on a daily chart here, and it bottomed out. So this is my support. And if you look up here, I have this on my setup starting, and I have that on TPLM just because I recently failed on this. I wasn't maybe I wasn't patient enough, or I didn't follow my plan was the whole reason I lost money. And you can check out my TPLM trade. I created a video on that. But if you look here on these are stocks that I'm looking to actually break out. PTX looks like it's following this chart pattern where it drops down, creates its low, but has a base here, and then it starts uptrending, comes up and tests but fails, and then it comes back and creates a higher low, comes back, and it looks like it tested it again. So really this week it may break this 66, 65 area here. And I may actually be looking to take a position this week, depending on how much it squeezes and does volume pick up. And another thing I noticed here is that there's good news coming out. I guess they just started distribution of a migraine drug or something, some type of drug that they're doing. But it's good news. Market's reacting good to it. Plus, it's following a chart pattern. Plus, it looks like it's getting ready to do a breakout above a recent double top high. So it's definitely something on my watch list. OCN is another one that I may have missed a move here. Next week it may break, but knowing that I'm watching it, at 372, I may look to get in at 372, and I'm looking if it breaks 350, so that's a 20 cent risk there. And that's another thing I really like about this chart setup is that you can base your risk reward off of it. There's no guessing or anything. And then what I like about this is that I have a 20 cent risk there if it breaks this level here at 35. And I guess if I 370 entry down to 335 risk, I think 330 is the major. Anything below 335 I'll be looking to take off. And really, if it breaks this trend. But the reward here is 70 cents. So even if I risk 35 cents, it's still a 2-to-1 risk reward based off of levels in the chart. And I can reduce that. I could say, well, if it if it breaks 350, 350 is a whole number, it should hold that. So that's 20 to 70. HTBX is another one that I'm looking at this week. And I should just put this on my watch because I'm not entirely sure. It looks like it's basing out here, but I'm not as confident as I am in PTX and OCN. But it seems to be based out, following a trend line up, higher lows, and it's topping out at this 150 mark. So I'm looking for it, and it seems to be a slow mover. You can see the volume's not really all that high, but on a high volume day, it may crack and start pushing. You can see here it does move, from low 72 cents and a couple of days later to a high of $2.07. So it does move. And even consolidated here and moved up. And TKAI was another one. This is a different chart pattern setup that I'm looking at. I remember watching Tim Sykes' earlier videos when he would talk about a stair step pattern, and I'm looking here, it dropped significantly off of $5. And I just happened to be going through this ticker, and I noticed this little stair step where it popped, it consolidated, popped, and it's consolidating again. And I'm just going to watch for this breakout. You got options calls. If you look at news trends on TD Ameritrade anyway, you got options alerts where, they're sweeping a November 16th $5 call. Now, I'm not a big option trader. I don't really fully understand what that means. But I know if you're buying calls, it's like buying the stock, I guess. And puts are like shorting a stock. So, and they have earnings coming out in November. So I'm thinking this may be a little trend. Maybe it pops above 2, and I want to catch that move. I want to look. And this chart is not acting correctly here. There we go. You can see a little better where it pops up. Pops up again. So when it crosses this wick at 180, if I'm looking to get in, just because I don't fully, it might just be something that I watch because I'm not fully understanding of the chart pattern, but it's definitely a pattern that is formed, and I'm watching it. And there's setups that are starting. These are chart patterns, and I'll just go through tickers that I think may be starting the trend that I've recently kind of looked at. And this one, FSI, see if it can create a lower low and follow this. It's definitely trading in this channel. AXAS definitely looks like it's topping out. I'm going to see if it falls down and creates a lower low or a higher low and see if it starts following. It's trading in this channel. DSU, this is my watch list for the week, really. And, this is another one where I'm not real sure. Is top out again? Has it already created its lower low? Is it already pinching? It's got the higher volume. You can see these past 3 or 4 days on this little uptrend. So it may be ready to break and push and test this new high, 3-month high anyway. BIOS, this is another one I'm just watching, see if it comes down. Just see how this chart pattern when it's trading in this range develops. TPLM already went over, HNR. Another one that I'm just watching to see how it develops, see if it comes down, see if it starts creating a trend here. Trend up and maybe squeezing and wanting to test this new 3-month high. There are chart patterns that I've been learning through DVDs and just studying and looking at charts, and I'm really going to start focusing on these specific setups and plays and try to really make this my craft, because just having a small account, you want those breakout moves that move the stock 10 to 20%, and you want to be able to catch that 10 to 20%, especially on a low account. So that's what I've been looking at. If you like my videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Profithigh and Profithigh73. I verify all my trades. If there's anything you'd like me to go over, please comment and let me know if you like my videos. Thanks for watching.